And we're live. Hello and welcome to the Business Octopus podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it. And I'm Avon, and here's Amanda. Not that you don't already know who we are, but yeah, what's going on for you, Amanda?
Look, I'm rocking this epic Ollie Relevate Community hat, and I'm just gonna be rocking this all day. I had it on during a meeting earlier this morning, didn't I, Avon? This is my Friday.
Well, I've got mine.
There you go.
I'm not an indoor hat person. Well, not only that, the lighting is giving me like a little
I'm blessed with sunlight in my face. But special thank you to one of our community leaders, Richard, for organising these incredible hats. They look absolutely fantastic. And I'm just pumped about my hat.
I'm trying to find the light button. I do have another like LED like power lamp here, but basically we've got there's shirts, there's hats, there's pins. It's interesting because it's like everybody wants to contribute. Everyone's coming and designing something, and it's kind of creating
so good,
which is exciting.
It is, yeah, it's awesome. It's very exciting. Great energy.
So one of the things that we were going to do today is build another episode of our challenge around improving cash flow and making life a little bit easier. And so we wanted to go through the anatomy of an offer. Like, what is an offer? Everybody goes, oh, you have to have an offer. But what no one goes, here's what an offer actually is and how you make one. And if they do, then it's probably in itself an offer. And, what we want to try and do is give a little bit of an insight into some actionable stuff. Now, we're only going to podcast here for the next 20, 30 minutes. So it's not going to be something we can go into infinite detail in, but we'll give you as much as we can. And hopefully you'll be able to take something away and turn it into something you can action right now in your business and reduce your risk of the end of year cash crunch, or if you have some kind of seasonality, or if you're just between clients and you want another big one or something like that, that you've got something that you can, start to make it easier to get the next one and the next one. All right. So
absolutely.
What is an offer?
What is an offer? You know what, Avon? Just to make everyone viewing at home feel a little bit better, I don't think I fully got my head around what an offer was until maybe 3 months ago. I'll be completely honest about that. Like, right. It's one of those things where I've had it explained to me by multiple people multiple times, and I finally have wrapped my head around it, and we've really solidly implemented them in the business. So it's one of those things, keep cracking away at it. So what is an offer, Avon? Let's hear it from you.
In the short terms of things, you've probably got lots of marketing. You're trying to build a reputation. You're trying to show people what you do. But it's not until you actually ask for the sale that you actually get the sale. People go, oh, wow, that person is doing some really cool work. You see all these like TikTokers and YouTubers doing some, like arts and crafts project or something like that. But if they had a business and they actually wanted you to buy, but they never asked you, then you would never know. And you'd probably just sit there admiring that video and go, well, that's cool. I wish I could do that. And 100%. Instead, it would be easy if they just said, and by the way, if you want some, I'm making some, you can order right here. Like, that's almost as good enough as an offer to begin with.
That's it. And if you don't ask, you don't get. So you gotta ask for the sale, friends. 100%.
But the other counterpoint to that is you don't want to ask too often. So you do need to prove value. You do need to build relationship, but you need a healthy balance of offering value and then asking for something. So yes, potentially you could do it every time after you've delivered like 20 or like a couple of hours value or a product or a sample or something like that. There's a value exchange. When you go to the supermarket and they've got a tray full of like little meats or something, they're like, would you like to try one? Oh, and by the way, we have, these on sale for $1.99 or something like that. That's the offer. If they just give you the free food, you're like, oh, cool. And you walk away, have a nice little snack. But the point is that it's supposed to be an offer of value and then an offer to purchase. So that in itself is, if you're not making those call to actions, you're going to get a lot of attention. And then people are going to smile, walk away, smile and nod like nothing happened, and then walk away. But that doesn't help you financially. So
It does not.
We have a formula for it, so we're going to make it easy for you. So if you've got a pen, write down PASA, PASSA. Just go down the page. We're going to make it as an acronym, and we're going to expand that out as we go. And I have an example, and I do have a worksheet that I usually use to show people how to do this and like write it out for themselves. But so what we'll do is we'll go through the story that I usually use, which is the product, let's say, is a memory foam pillow. All right, so you want to try and sell this pillow, and instead of trying to just go, hey, you want to buy a pillow, you need to go and identify who it is, or get your ideal client to self-identify that they are the one that needs this product in their life. So for example, you might say, sore neck, can't sleep, or something like that. So yes. Someone who's got a sore neck and they can't sleep might identify.
That's me.
Yeah, but you might have several iterations of that problem. So that might be one issue, and then another one might be got sweaty neck rash from your pillow. Like someone might go, I have that problem. Like my neck is itchy, or my neck is sore when I wake up in the morning. Then, if they're scrolling through the feed of 10,000 articles, the thing that's going to pop out to them is something that really speaks to a problem that they're feeling at that time. So that
right. Maybe they can't get comfortable. Like there could be a list of problems that this pillow solves, right? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, or like, and once you've called that problem out, and the thing is, you might have to come up with a number of problems, but then create an offer that hangs off each of those problems. But that's just the lead in. That's the hook, the thing that grabs you. So the next is the aggravation. So someone has seen, oh, that's a problem. I kind of identify with that. But then you really need to like kick the bruise or rub salt in the wound, or just make them really feel the pain of that issue, so that then at the end of that, they're going to want to solve it. So you say something like, all right, so you've got a sore neck. Your partner's frustrated because you're tossing and turning in the night. They can't sleep either. Now everyone in the house is crabby, and it's just, you feel drained, you feel tired. And that's kind of like you've really hammered into why that's a problem, and all the other things that happen as a result that maybe but you haven't really named, or you haven't really called out. So that's the aggravation piece, if I can say that word.
Got it.
The next one is the solution. So here's where a lot of people go wrong, is they start listing the features, like 10 megapixel camera, or it's got electrolytes, or, things like that, where it's just the wrong framing. What you need to do is talk about the benefits, not the features. So instead of saying it's got memory foam, you go, no more sore neck with a memory foam pillow. No more sweat rash with the cooling technology. No more whatever. So benefit first, then the feature. Then from that, you give a little bit more into the solution. So you've named the product at that point. You've said what the answer is to solve that problem. You've then need to give some form of social proof. Jerry hasn't been kicked in the ribs since he got this new pillow.
Jerry.
A little bit funny in that scenario, because we're telling a story about someone who can't sleep. They're disrupting their partner. So getting your elbow in the ribs is, like, oi, stop moving, I'm trying to sleep here. That scenario would happen. But because we've said it without saying it, you create a little element of humor. Now, you can do that sort of thing in numerous ways, but that's a great way to build rapport and connection. And then finally, give the action. All right, so the A. So PASA: problem, aggravation, solution, social proof, and then action. The action is the one thing you want them to do. Jump online and go to this website and buy the memory foam pillow. Use the coupon code for a 5% discount or something like that. But even that's too long. I would say just keep it simple. Click here to get yours now.
Perfect.
Don't give them 5 call to actions. Anyway, I have this mentally stored, and I do it a lot. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, I think just if you didn't get them all down on your bit of paper, team. So it's problem, aggravation, solution, social proof. Is that right?
And then action.
Action. The
Yes.
call to action. Beautiful.
So if you don't have that call to action, then you probably or even if you've got too many calls to action. So sometimes people go, you can call me here, you can text me there, you can email me here, here's my WhatsApp, here's my LinkedIn URL. That's too much. You just need to give them one action. If they've only got one action, they're more likely to go. It's like if you go to the supermarket and they have samples out, right? They did a study where one day they had like 50 jars of jam. And they only sold like, I don't know, for argument's sake, $20 worth. But then when they went out with like 3 jars of jam, because they didn't have that paralysis of choice, they sold like 80 times more than what they did on the day when they had too many options. So
make it easy for people.
Exactly. So an offer could just be the fact that you've got a good, better, and best. You've developed a set fixed product for your service, which might be a very bespoke service, but 90% of clients fit in category A, B, or C. And you might be able to do a little bit of local customization for each, but you allow room for that. And you say, do you want the silver package, the gold package, or the bronze package, or wherever you fit in the middle of that? And by crafting the product, then you need to craft the offer, which is the copywriting, and get them to feel the pain and tell them why they need to solve that, and then give them the action. And then the outcome of that is being able to have something that's easily able to be conveyed quickly and be able to scale that. So you could train other people to sell that. You could put it into marketing systems to be able to be sold, and you can easily give that information to the client and they can read through it with themselves. So you don't have to be in every conversation ad nauseum for 3 hours trying to explain things. You can just go, here's a sheet that we've got on it, like a sales page, that has that formula on it, that has all the details of why they would want to buy it, the social proof, everything, what they need to do to buy it. And then you can go, do you have any questions? So you've provided the information and you're an extra layer on top of that, instead of you just being able to explain everything with your mouth.
Exactly. And I think one thing I would like to add, Avon, your offer, the first offer that you put to market, or your first gold, silver, bronze, is not going to be the last one that you put to market. So get something out there. It doesn't need to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. You will continue to iterate. Avon, I know you've changed yours slightly over time as you learn, as you deliver. So please just get it out there instead of worrying about getting it perfect or getting it right.
We closed so many more deals with ours since we've done that. What about you? Have you closed a lot of deals as a result?
Yeah. So I think it shows people that you know what you're doing, because you're able to package this thing up. You've clearly done it before, and you know what works and what they need to get a particular outcome. So absolutely.
And it lowers the risk because somebody else has gone through that process before and they've had seen success. That's where the social proof, like, all right, 50 other people have gone through our, patented process or whatever, our, trademark process, and they've got X result. And that's the social proof in and of itself. So the last thing I would say is, if you're listening to this and you want to find out more about how to do that, you want to get the copywriting worksheet to build your formula, and you want to learn and talk it through with other people in the community, then you should definitely join the Relevate community and join our challenge where we talk about how to do that. And after this episode live stream has finished, we'll put a link in the description. Now, if you were paying attention to this episode, you will note that what we did at the start is we introduced the idea. We then introduced the aggravation. So we initiated with the problem. We went through and aggravated why it's a problem and why you're not making the sales and the transactions that you were hoping to do. We gave you the solution and the example of why it's useful. Then we gave you a little bit of social proof where we talked about how it's working for us. And I know it's certainly helped with a lot of the clients that we've worked with. And we've also given you the action, which is joining at the link down below. So if you think, if you're not sure whether or not it works, like, for the most part, we try to offer value in this and try to make it not feel like it was a sales pitch. And realistically, it's not. What we want to do is we want to have good humans in our community. And we have a ban list. So if you're not the right person, unfortunately, you won't be allowed in. But ultimately, there are things that do improve. And you always say this, the community is like, come with me energy. It's not like, look at me, look how awesome we are, and look at the things that we're trying to sell. the community is there to support, and we've got a lot of resources that provide a lot of value. So anyway, that's enough about that. But we thought showing is better than telling, so we'd show you in the process. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, nailed it.
Did you have anything else to add before we go, other than staying classy?
Damn it, I was going to steal your line, but he suspected it, team.